important to establish like those relationships? And then the next question I want to talk about is those non-transactional one with the example about you and Tony Robbins. But just the first question is just why is it important to establish those like networks like right now?
So I would tell you I'm rich because of those relationships, but not in the way that sounds. I'm not telling people I'm rich financially because of those relationships. I'm rich because of those relationships. That's what makes me rich. The most important thing I've learned over the last 35 years of my life is the most important thing you'll do on this earth is to cultivate true and real and everlasting eternal relationships. Your marriage, your relationship with your children, your friends who become your family, your relationships and those memories you get from those relationships, that's all you're taking with you. That's the true riches. Mm-hmm. The true riches is the ability to connect and create a relationship that is so worth it that it goes into the eternities. The people that I meet, the people that I have in my life are only those people. I tell people this all the time. I don't have friends. I have family or I have acquaintances. That's it. And you fall into one of those categories. You're either my family or you're just an acquaintance I know of. And those relationships, all of them, at some point become one of those two categories. You're either part of my family or we just know each other. And so when people say your net worth or your network is your net worth, the truth is the greater value you bring to people and the greater that relationship is, the easier the opportunities are to make money. That's what they're talking about. So if I create a relationship that is so powerful and wonderful that in that relationship, that human being enjoys it so much that as opportunities come to them, they automatically think of me, those create opportunities in my life. So everybody in my circle, I make sure, as that second question, I'm a non-transactional character because in that they realize their value and my value is most important. And the value that I bring to them is that relationship. It's not the money. It's not the fame. It's the actual relationship. All too often I hear people say, I'm going to a networking event. Well, what are you going to do? I'm going to pass out cards, tell people who I am, and shake their hands. That's the worst advice I've ever heard. I love Brad Lee, but he says something very backwards. He says, the more hands you shake, the more money you make. I don't think that. The more valuable relationships you create, the more money you make. I've shaken a lot of hands of people I don't want anything to do with. I've shaken a lot of hands with very successful people I don't want to do business with and I don't want in my network. But the creation of a relationship that is into the eternity, so valuable that without money, without fame, without all the important things that we think, it comes down to how is our actual relationship? That's what creates true value to me.